The Zerthul Dominion's flagship hung in orbit over Earth, a colossal behemoth casting a shadow that darkened the bright blue planet below. Its sleek, angular hull gleamed coldly in the sunlight, a stark symbol of alien power and control. Inside the ship's command center, Admiral Zyler's eyes scanned the holographic projection of Earth's defenses. The moment of reckoning was at hand. "Transmit the ultimatum," Zyler ordered, his voice as calm and chilling as the void outside. "Let humanity know they have one chance: submit and become subjects of the Dominion, or face total annihilation." Across the galaxy, the Galactic Council observed the unfolding drama with interest and expectation. Earth was a backwater world by galactic standards, a young, untested species with primitive technology compared to the Dominion's vast armada. Everyone expected compliance. Humanity had no choice, but on Earth, the mood was far from defeatist. In a secure underground command center beneath the sprawling city of New Chicago, General Marcus Yates stood before a massive digital display. The room hummed with activity as engineers, scientists, and military strategists prepared for what was to come. "We know their reputation," Yates said, turning to face his team. "The Zerthul Dominion has conquered countless worlds with overwhelming force and ruthless efficiency, but they don't know us. Captain Reyes has confirmed the readiness of the Nemesis," said Commander Lena Park, her fingers dancing across the console. "The ship's systems are fully operational. Its stealth capabilities and weapon arrays exceed anything in known space." Yates nodded. "Good. Earth's survival depends on that ship and the will of its crew. We will not surrender." Above the planet, the Nemesis lay cloaked in orbit, hidden from enemy sensors by advanced stealth technology developed in secrecy over decades. Its sleek, black hull was a testament to human ingenuity and determination, a weapon designed not only to defend but to strike with precision and devastating power. Captain Eleanor Reyes stood on the bridge, gazing at the swirling clouds below. The weight of command settled heavily on her shoulders. "We've trained for this," she said quietly. "This ship and this crew are the last line between Earth and destruction. We cannot fail." Suddenly, the silence was broken by a deep voice from communications. "Admiral Zyler requests immediate transmission of the ultimatum. They expect a response within 1 standard hour." Reyes nodded grimly. "Prepare the message. Make it clear. We will not bow." Back on the Zerthul flagship, the transmission was sent. A towering hologram of Admiral Zyler filled the skies over Earth's major cities. His voice booming in every language the Dominion could access. "People of Earth," he declared, "you stand on the brink of destiny. Submit to the Zerthul Dominion and live under our protection and order. Resist, and your world will be reduced to ashes. The choice is yours." The streets below filled with stunned silence, the murmurs of disbelief and defiance. Earth's governments convened emergency sessions, and civilians braced for what seemed like the inevitable. But in the shadows, a spark of resistance ignited. In a hidden war room, General Yates addressed his closest advisors. "We have 1 hour to respond, not with words, but with action. The Nemesis will make our answer clear. Launch protocols, Captain Reyes." The crew moved swiftly, systems humming to life as the Nemesis powered its engines. Its deadly arsenal primed and ready, the ship was a ghost among the stars, ready to deliver a message no hologram could convey outside. The Zerthul fleet prepared for what they expected to be a brief campaign. They did not realize humanity's defiance had unleashed something far beyond their expectations, of force that would change the fate of the galaxy forever. Captain Reyes took her place at the helm, eyes sharp, heart steady. "Let's show them what it means to threaten Earth." And with that, the Nemesis slipped silently from the shadows into the heart of the looming storm. The silent void of space around Earth's orbit was shattered by a low hum that resonated through the hull of the Nemesis. For years, the warship had waited in the shadows, cloaked by layers of advanced stealth technology and shielded from prying eyes. Now, at last, it was time to awaken. Captain Eleanor Reyes stood on the bridge, her fingers resting lightly on the control console. The ship responded instantly to her touch, life returning to circuits, engines, and weapon systems. The Nemesis was more than a ship. It was humanity's answer to a question whispered for generations. What would happen if the galaxy demanded Earth's submission and Earth refused? Reyes glanced around at her crew, young, determined, and well-trained. Each of them carried the weight of Earth's fate on their shoulders, yet their eyes shone with fierce resolve. "Powering up main reactor," the chief engineer reported. "All systems nominal. Cloaking field stabilizing." Reyes nodded. Brain. The Nemesis out of stealth on my mark. We need the Zerthul to know we're awake and ready. In the distant expanse, the Zerthul Dominion fleet drifted confidently. Certain that Earth's defiance would be short-lived, their flagship, the Celestial Hammer, loomed like a god of war. Commander Vorik stood on its bridge, observing Earth's surface through tactical displays. Humanity's resistance is foolish, he sneered. They lack the strength to oppose us. Soon, this world will bow. But beneath his arrogance lay a hint of unease. Reports from scouts had hinted at strange signals emanating from Earth's orbit energy, signatures unlike any they had seen before. Still, Vorik chose to dismiss them as unimportant. Back on the Nemesis, the ship's sensors flickered alive, scanning the fleet below. The stealth field dissolved with a shimmer, revealing the warship's sleek, black silhouette against the stars. Visual contact confirmed, Reyes said. They see us. Suddenly, the Zerthul fleet reacted. Fighters scrambled from hangars, weapons primed, and the great ship shifted into battle formation. Prepare weapons, Reyes commanded. Let's remind them why they should not mistake. U.S. for easy prey, the Nemesis unleashed a pulse of energy from its forward cannons, targeting the nearest Zerthul cruiser. The blast tore through the enemy's shields and hull, sending shockwaves through the fleet. Chaos erupted as the Dominion ship scrambled to respond. Fighters swarmed to intercept, and massive energy beams lanced through space. But the Nemesis was built for this moment. It dodged with agility unexpected of a ship its size, firing precision strikes and deploying defensive drones that tore into enemy fighters. On the Celestial Hammer, Commander Vorik's face darkened. This is no ordinary resistance. This ship is different. Deploy the Hunter squads. Destroy it. The battle escalated into a furious dance of fire and steel. The Nemesis's crew worked in perfect unison, each station responding instantly to threats, each move calculated for maximum effect. Captain Reyes felt the familiar surge of adrenaline. This was what they had trained for, the moment when humanity showed the galaxy its true strength. As the first salvo of the Nemesis tore apart a Zerthul command frigate, the Galactic Council chambers filled with stunned silence. The representatives had not expected such a display of power. Earth's defiance was no longer a bluff, it was a clear and deadly challenge. Amid the battle, communications from Earth's leaders came through. This is President Armin Liao, his voice resolute. The Nemesis is Earth's answer to tyranny. We will not submit. We will defend our home no matter the cost. Back on the Nemesis, Captain Reyes looked ahead at the Zerthul fleet. Hold steady. This fight has only just begun. The awakening of the Nemesis was more than a show of force. It was a declaration. Earth was ready not just to survive, but to fight back. The galaxy's most ruthless conquerors had unleashed a storm they could not yet understand, and humanity was ready to unleash it. The deep void of space had never felt more alive. Pulses of energy flared like lightning in the darkness, casting stark shadows across the black hole of the Nemesis. Captain Eleanor Reyes stood at the helm, her gaze steady, every sense alert to the unfolding battle. Below them, Earth's orbital defenses braced for the inevitable assault. The Zerthul Dominion had no intention of letting this defiant human ship exist unchecked. Their fleets were swift, ruthless, and equipped with technology honed through centuries of conquest. But the Nemesis was something else entirely. Enemy fleet approaching at high velocity, reported Lieutenant Hahn, eyes flicking over the tactical displays. Multiple cruisers, support frigates, and fighter squadrons. They're targeting Earth's orbital stations. Reyes tightened her grip on the console. Deploy defensive drones. Coordinate with orbital batteries. We're not letting them through. The first wave hit with brutal force. Energy blasts scorched the void. Plasma streams arced through space, and fighter squadrons clashed like swarming hornets. The Nemesis moved like a phantom, its sleek frame weaving through volleys of fire while retaliating with deadly precision. The ship's advanced weapon systems came alive, railguns firing hyper-accelerated projectiles, energy cannons, unleashing focus beams that tore through enemy shields. A silent, invisible force shield rippled outward, absorbing blows that would have crippled lesser vessels. The Zerthul flagship, a massive dreadnought known as the Celestial Hammer, emerged from the flurry of fighters and fired a concentrated beam at Earth's largest orbital station. Explosions erupted and debris scattered like falling stars. Not on my watch, Reyes muttered. The Nemesis accelerated, weaving past the chaos to intercept the dreadnought. With a precision strike, it fired a salvo of plasma torpedoes that slammed into the celestial hammer's side, causing an explosion that rocked the massive ship. The enemy's response was swift and fierce. Fighters swarmed the Nemesis, their weapons aiming to overwhelm its defenses. "Launch interceptor drones," Reyes ordered, "protect the ship at all costs." The Nemesis's hangar bays opened briefly, releasing sleek drones that darted through space with deadly intent. They intercepted enemy fighters, ripping them apart before they could close in on the bridge of the Celestial Hammer. Commander Vorik's expression darkened as he watched his forces falter. "How is this possible?" he growled. "This human ship defies every expectation." Back on the Nemesis, Reyes knew the answer lay not just in technology, but in humanity's spirit. Their refusal to bow, to surrender, gave them strength beyond what the Dominion could anticipate. "Target their command frigate," she commanded. "Concentrate fire." The Nemesis unleashed a coordinated assault. Its weapons systems fired with ruthless accuracy, disabling the enemy frigate shields and tearing through its hull. The command vessel erupted in flames, sending shockwaves that disrupted the coordination of the Zerthul fleet. The enemy began to falter, confusion spreading like wildfire. Enemy fighters retreating, Lieutenant Han reported. "Command, fleet is pulling back." The victory was swift and decisive. The Nemesis and Earth's orbital defenses had repelled the attack, sending a clear message to the galaxy: humanity would not be conquered. From the safety of the command center on Earth, President Armin Liao addressed the world. "Today, humanity stood its ground. We have shown the Zerthul Dominion that Earth is not a prize to be taken lightly. Our resolve is strong, our spirit unbroken. This is only the beginning." On board the Nemesis, Captain Reyes allowed herself a rare moment of quiet satisfaction. The ship's systems hummed steadily, bell-worn but unbowed. "This is war," she said softly. "But it's our war, and we will fight it on our terms." The galaxy had underestimated humanity, and in doing so, had awakened a force far more dangerous than they imagined. The first strike was won, but the true battle for freedom was only beginning. The silence after the storm was brief and deceptive. The Nemesis drifted in the shadow of Earth's moon, its sleek hull scarred but intact, a symbol of humanity's defiance. Captain Eleanor Reyes stood on the bridge, eyes scanning the expanse of stars for the inevitable counterattack. The Zerthul Dominion would not accept their defeat lightly. Their pride was wounded, and they would hunt the Nemesis relentlessly to reassert their control. "Commander Han," Reyes said, voice steady but firm, "what's our status?" Lieutenant Han's fingers flew across the controls. "Ships operational, minor damage to port shields, but we're combat ready. However, sensors indicate multiple Hunter fleets mobilizing in nearby sectors." "Hunter fleets?" "Elite Zerthul strike groups," Han explained. "Fast, heavily armed, and specialized in tracking down high-value targets like us." Reyes' jaw tightened. "They're coming for us. Prepare evasive protocols. We can't let them catch us." The Nemesis disengaged from orbit and slipped into the darkness, its engines quiet, stealth systems humming to life. It became a ghost once more, silent, elusive, deadly. Meanwhile, the Zerthul command was in chaos. Admiral Zyler paced his flagship's bridge, frustration clear in his rigid posture. The Nemesis had shattered his flagship and embarrassed his fleet. Now, he demanded results. "Deploy the Hunter fleets," he commanded. "Find the Nemesis. Destroy it before it rallies more allies." The Hunters moved like shadows through space, swift, merciless vessels designed to track and kill. Each carried specialized sensors and weapons capable of overwhelming most defenders. Captain Reyes knew they could not win a direct fight against these elite squadrons. Instead, she chose the game of shadows, hit and run, deception and survival. "Prepare for stealth maneuvers," she ordered. "We'll split into small, unpredictable vectors. Use decoys, jammers, everything we've got." As the Hunter fleets closed in, the Nemesis deployed electronic countermeasures, sending false signals and sensor ghosts to confuse pursuers. In one daring move, it launched a swarm of stealth drones programmed to mimic its energy signature, drawing enemy fire away from the main ship. Despite their skill, the Hunters found themselves chasing phantoms. Enemy squadron detected on long range sensors, Lieutenant Han reported. "They're closing fast." Reyes gripped the command console. "Prepare for hit-and-run tactics. We'll engage briefly, then vanish before they can respond." The Nemesis struck quickly, using precise bursts of fire to cripple one of the Hunter ships before slipping into a dense asteroid field. The narrow corridors and jagged rocks made pursuit deadly, forcing the hunters to break formation. In the chaotic labyrinth of space debris, the Nemesis used every advantage, deploying drones, exploiting sensor blind spots, and launching precision strikes that left enemies crippled but never caught. Each encounter tested the crew's nerves and skill, but also their resolve. Captain Reyes spoke often to remind them why they fought. "We are the defenders of Earth," she said during a brief moment of calm. "The hunters think they can break us, but every time we evade, every time we strike back, we send a message: humanity will not be hunted down." In the midst of the chase, new challenges emerged. The hunters adapted, coordinating their attacks and refining their strategies. The Nemesis had to constantly evolve its tactics, relying on both technology and the unpredictable creativity of its crew. Amid the tension, quiet moments revealed the human side of war. Lieutenant Han shared stories from his childhood on Earth's moon colonies. The ship's medic tended to the crew, offering comfort and care in the cold silence of space. Yet, through it all, the threat loomed. Captain Han warned, "The hunters are regrouping. They're planning a coordinated strike near the Veil." Nebula. Rey's eyes narrowed. "Then that's where we'll make our stand for now. Prepare the ship." This is only the beginning of the hunt. As the Nemesis sped toward the nebula's swirling gases, the galaxy watched in growing anticipation. Humanity had awakened a force the Zerthul Dominion could neither control nor ignore. The hunters were relentless, but so was Earth. The Nemesis slipped into the Veil Nebula, a swirling mass of vibrant gases and cosmic dust that shimmered like a celestial storm. The nebula's dense clouds masked the warship's movements, creating an unpredictable battlefield where sensors could be deceived and every shadow was a threat. Captain Eleanor Reyes stood on the bridge, eyes fixed on the chaotic display of swirling lights and sensor blips. This was the perfect place to turn the tables. "The hunters think they have us trapped," Reyes said, voice low but firm. "But here, in the nebula, we have the advantage." Lieutenant Han nodded. "Sensor interference is high. Their ships won't be able to get a clear fix on us." "Good. Prepare the ship for maximum stealth and power. We hit hard, and we hit fast." As the Nemesis slipped deeper into the nebula's heart, it deployed a series of stealth drones to create multiple false signatures. The Zerthul hunters, expecting an easy kill, fell for the trap. From the mists, the Nemesis struck. Energy cannons flared, railguns tore through the obscured space, and plasma torpedoes exploded with deadly precision. One by one, hunter ships were crippled or destroyed before they could react. Commander Vorik's voice crackled over Zerthul channels. "Pull back. The humans are stronger than we thought. Regroup at the secondary fleet." But retreat was not so simple in the swirling chaos of the nebula. Iron storms erupted unpredictably, and debris fields made navigation treacherous. "Use the nebula to our advantage," Captain Reyes ordered. "Break their formations and isolate their ships." The Nemesis maneuvered with practiced grace, slipping between floating rock and plasma clouds, striking enemy vessels then vanishing into the mist. The battle raged for hours. The hunters' superior numbers were offset by the Nemesis's mastery of the terrain and innovative tactics. The ship's advanced cloaking systems flickered in and out, giving the crew just enough visibility to strike without being seen. On the Nemesis bridge, tension mixed with determination. Each victory was hard-won, but morale soared with every enemy ship that fell. Amid the chaos, Captain Reyes caught a sudden spike on the sensors. "Lieutenant, identify that reading." Han's eyes widened. "Signature is unfamiliar something. Large, cloaked, and powerful, approaching fast. Could it be reinforcements?" Reyes asked, her voice tense. "Unknown, but it's closing in. We might be walking into another trap." Before more could be said, a colossal silhouette emerged from the nebula's depths. The Zerthul-S experimental warship, the Shadow Reaper, unlike anything the Nemesis had faced. The Shadow Reaper was designed for stealth and destruction on a massive scale. Its hull coated with dark, energy-absorbing materials that rendered it almost invisible. "Enemy flagship," Reyes whispered. "Yes," Han confirmed. "It's their ace meant to hunt down and destroy ships like ours." The Shadow Reaper unleashed a sudden barrage of concentrated plasma beams, forcing the Nemesis to take evasive action. "Brace for impact," Reyes ordered. The bridge shook as beams struck the hull, and warning alarms blared. The Nemesis's shields held, but only barely. "We can't outgun that thing head-on," Reyes said, voice grim. "We have to outthink it. Deploy the decoy drones," Han suggested. "If we can confuse its sensors, We might create an opening. The Nemesis launched a swarm of drones, each emitting powerful electronic countermeasures, the Shadow Reapers. Weapons fired blindly into the swirling gas, allowing the Nemesis to slip away and prepare a counterattack. Captain, targeting their weapons array, Han said. If we can disable their main cannons, we gain the upper hand. Reyes nodded. Fire at will. The Nemesis focused a barrage on the Shadow Reaper's weapon systems, scoring direct hits that caused explosions along its hull. The enemy flagship faltered, retreating deeper into the nebulous swirling mist dot as the battle drew to a close. Reyes exhaled slowly. We've made our point, but this war is far from over. Back on Earth, the news spread quickly. The Nemesis had not only survived the hunted, had turned the hunt into a deadly game of its own. The Zerthul Dominion had unleashed their deadliest weapon and humanity had survived. The aftermath of the Nebula ambush sent ripples far beyond the battlefield. The Nemesis returned to Earth's orbit, battered but victorious, a symbol of humanity's indomitable will. Captain Eleanor Reyes and her crew were hailed as heroes, but the victory had come with a warning. The Zerthul Dominion was far from defeated, and far more dangerous than anyone had imagined. In the gleaming chambers of the Galactic Council, representatives from countless worlds gathered in uneasy silence. The news from Earth and the Veil Nebula had shaken the galaxy's power balance. No longer could humanity be dismissed as a backward planet with primitive technology. Counselor, threats of the Cygnian Alliance broke the silence. Earth has proven itself capable of defending its territory with devastating force. We must reconsider our stance toward humanity. Counselor Velek of the Zerthul Dominion's envoy glared across the chamber. This is a dangerous precedent. Earth's actions threaten the peace and order the Council has maintained for centuries. They must be contained. The Council's head, High Magistrate Orin, raised a hand to restore calm. We face a delicate situation. Earth's rise could shift the balance of power. We must seek a path that avoids war, but also respects sovereignty. Back on Earth, President Armin Liao prepared to respond. The Council had requested a delegation from Earth to come and speak a diplomatic opening. Fragile, but significant. Captain Reyes was summoned. This is not just a military mission, the President said. This is humanity's chance to be heard on the galactic stage. We must show we are not just warriors, but partners. The delegation assembled, a mix of diplomats, scientists, and military leaders. Among them was Reyes herself, both symbol and shield of Earth's resolve. The journey to the Galactic Council was tense. The delegation traveled aboard the Unity, Earth's diplomatic flagship, designed to represent peace but armed to defend. When the Unity arrived, the council chambers awaited an immense structure orbiting a distant star, shimmering with light and filled with the echoes of ancient politics. The delegation entered, met by a blend of curiosity and skepticism. The council was a place where words could change the course of history, and every gesture was scrutinized. Counselor Velek approached first, his tone icy but measured. Earth's military might is undeniable, Captain Reyes, but strength alone does not guarantee peace. Reyes met his gaze steadily. Nor does fear. Earth defends itself because we must, not because we seek conquest. Our message is clear: respect for our sovereignty and a commitment to coexistence. Counselor Frex nodded thoughtfully. Your actions have forced us to reconsider many assumptions. Perhaps there is more to humanity than we understood. The council debated late into the galactic night, weighing treaties, trade, and security. Earth's delegation advocated for alliances that honored freedom and mutual respect, while reminding the galaxy that Earth would not be coerced. Amid the diplomacy, hidden tensions simmered. The Zerthul Dominion, though forced to retreat, remained intent on undermining Earth's influence. Outside the chambers, Captain Reyes met with her crew aboard the Unity. Diplomacy is a battlefield of its own, she said. We've won a fight, but now we must win trust. The galaxy watches and waits. As the delegation prepared to return home, a message arrived, encrypted and urgent. Zerthul forces detected on the fringe of Earth's system, the communications officer reported. They're moving fast, armed with new weaponry. Reyes, face hardened. Diplomacy is important, but we must never forget, some threats require a show of strength. The Unity shifted to defensive posture, ready to protect Earth's orbit once more. In the shadows beyond, the Zerthul Dominion plotted. The battle for the galaxy was far from over, and the true war for humanity's place among the stars was just beginning. The Zerthul fleet loomed on the edge of Earth's system like a dark storm ready to break. Their arrival was a stark reminder that diplomacy was only one front. In the struggle for humanity's future, Captain Eleanor Reyes stood on the bridge of the Unity, her eyes fixed on the incoming threat, every sense sharpened. Enemy fleet advancing at high speed, Lieutenant Han reported. They've brought heavy cruisers, bombers, and support vessels. Their formations are tight and aggressive. Reyes' fingers tapped the console. Status of our defenses, weapons systems online, orbital platforms fully operational, civilian evacuation proceeding smoothly. Good. This fight will decide whether Earth remains free across the solar system. Earth's combined forces mobilized with a precision born of necessity. Military and civilian vessels coordinated in a vast web of defense, the atmosphere, thick with tension and resolve. In the enemy command ship, Admiral Zyla's face was a mask of cold determination. This is the moment to crush humanity's rebellion, he declared. Strike with everything we have. No mercy, as the Zerthol fleet surged forward. The Unity and the Nemesis prepared to lead the defense. Captain Reyes knew the importance of unity not just between ships, but among the galaxy's fractured alliances. Open comms to allied fleets, she ordered. We fight together, or not at all. Messages of solidarity came in from unexpected quarters. Signian cruisers, Solari frigates, and independent warships pledged support. Humanity's stand had inspired more than fear, it had awakened hope. The first clash erupted in the void between Earth and the Moon. Energy beams sliced through darkness. Missiles streaked like comets, and starfighter squadrons danced in deadly ballet. The Nemesis moved like a predator, weaving through firestorms to target the Zerthol command vessels. Its weapons found gaps in the enemy's armor, disrupting their formations. But the Zerthol responded with ferocity. Their bombers unleashed swarms of drones designed to overwhelm defenders, forcing the Earth fleets into desperate maneuvers, shields failing on forward sectors. Lieutenant Han warned, enemy drones penetrating perimeter. Deploy point defense systems, Reyes commanded. Prioritize civilian protection. The battle intensified. Each side locked in a deadly struggle. Earth's orbital platforms fired relentlessly, their lasers and railguns cutting down incoming threats with precise timing. Amid the chaos, Captain Reyes received a tactical update. Enemy flagship is attempting to flank us via the asteroid belt. Then we intercept, she said. Prepare the Nemesis for a strike run. The Nemesis surged toward the belt, its engines glowing against the blackness. The asteroid field was a treacherous maze, but it offered cover and strategic advantage, navigating the jagged rocks. The ship ambushed the Zerthol flagship with coordinated volleys of plasma and railgun fire. It targeted the ship's engines and weapons arrays. The flagship faltered, explosions rippling along its hull. But it was not defeated yet. Its captain unleashed a last-ditch barrage of ion cannons, forcing the Nemesis to pull back. Back at Earth's orbit, the battle raged on. Fighters clashed in swarms, capital ships exchanged devastating blows, and the skies above trembled with the intensity of the conflict. President Liao addressed the world via encrypted broadcast. Today, we face the greatest challenge in our history, but remember, this is a fight for our freedom, our future, and the dignity of all humanity. Stand strong. On the Unity, Reyes felt the weight of command. The battle was brutal and costly, but the spirit of her crew and the allied fleets remained unbroken. Suddenly, sensors picked up an unexpected signal-coded transmission, originating from deep within Zerthol ranks. Captain, it's a distress call, Lieutenant Han said. One of their commanders wants to defect. Reyes exchanged a glance with her tactical officer. Prepare a secure channel. Let's hear what they have to say. The message crackled through. I am Commander Varn of the Zerthol fleet. We do not wish for this endless war. Help us. Bring peace. In the chaos of war, a fragile chance for alliance had emerged. But trust was a scarce commodity, and the stakes had never been higher. The edge of war had been reached, and what came next would define not just Earth, but the fate of the entire galaxy. The battle for Earth's future had pushed the galaxy to the brink of destruction. Yet, amid the chaos and devastation, a fragile hope began to take root. Commander Varn's defection had sent shockwaves through the Zerthol fleet, sowing doubt and uncertainty where once there had been only unwavering loyalty. Captain Elena Reyes stood on the Unity's bridge, watching the stars beyond the viewport. The distant flashes of battle still flickered, but a cautious calm had settled over the system. Status report, she said quietly. Lieutenant Han's voice was steady. Enemy forces are retreating. Morale among Zerthol ranks is fractured. Several ships are signaling surrender. Good, Reyes replied. Prepare a formal offer of truce. This war needs to end not just for Earth, but for all who call this galaxy home. On the communication console, President Liao's face appeared, weary but resolute. The people of Earth stand united. We offer peace to those willing to choose it. Let this conflict be the last of its kind. Within hours, the Zerthol High Command convened an emergency session. Admiral Zyla's expression was grim as he faced the reality of losing, not just a battle, but the very loyalty of his fleet. Commander, Varn spoke with conviction. The cost of this war is too great. Our empire cannot survive an endless conflict. I propose we negotiate peace and open dialogue with Earth and its allies. Zyla's glare was fierce, but even he could not deny the growing fractures within his forces. Reluctantly, he agreed to a ceasefire and a council meeting to discuss terms. The Galactic Council, which had watched the war with growing apprehension, now stepped forward as mediator. Representatives gathered once more, this time not to debate, but to forge a new path. Captain Reyes and Commander Varn sat side by side. Former enemies turned unlikely partners. Their joint proposal called for disarmament in contested sectors, shared technology exchanges, and mutual defense agreements. The council chambers buzzed with cautious optimism. Though scars from the war remained, many saw the chance to build a galaxy where cooperation could replace conflict. Back on Earth, celebrations erupted. The war had taken much, but it had also revealed something profound: humanity's resilience, unity, and capacity for both strength and compassion. In the days that followed, the Nemesis and the Unity became symbols not just of war, but of hope. Humanity had shown it could fight fiercely and also forgive. Captain Reyes addressed her crew in the ship's mess hall. We faced impossible odds and emerged stronger. But the true victory is the future we build now, one where we stand as allies, not adversaries. In the vastness of space, Lieutenant Hunt smiled. We've changed the galaxy forever. Reyes nodded. Yes, and now, it's time to explore that future, as Earth's ship sailed among the stars once more. A new dawn broke not just for humanity, but for all civilizations willing to embrace peace. The galaxy was watching, and for the first time, it saw a future where the stars could belong to everyone.